You started out by saying you're on a 12-step mission right now or a course. Will you explain that of being more present? Talk about what you mean by
Yeah,
that.
I would love to. I happen to be in my office. Here is the 12-step principles right here. They're for everyone, kids, everyone. And it's really about honesty, surrender, belief, faith, commitment. I'm just reading it off the top here: courage, diligence, truth, integrity, acceptance, growth, humility, brotherly love, justice, forgiveness, perseverance, vigilance, longing and need, gratitude, and serenity. So that is what I am living fiercely with. And that's what helps me get through these criminal battles, what helps me get through a lot of injustices. And I'm not going to seek substances or other things like I used to for all these 12 principles that have helped me flourish through a lot of court proceedings. So I am just so happy that I can be in this place right now.
So are you completely sober at the moment? Is that something that you're
Oh yes, I'm a sober queen, and I just was on a vacation, and I saw a lot of moms, having alcohol at 8 a.m. in the morning, and I want to just say, I used to be not knowing how to deal with all the stressors. I used to be like, how can I deal with family? How can I deal with all this stuff? It's so heavy. I don't know what to do. And I really found my happiness when I got to go to a trauma center after being assaulted and spending 28 days there with the world shut off, work shut off, social media shut off, not worrying about work. And I got to see, where we gaslight people, our highest forms of manipulation, what I was allowing, what I don't need anymore. So these 12-step principles are such a core of, hey, let me get back to the good stuff and let me stay there.
right? Well, that is a really good place to be. I think it's really hard to get there for a lot of people.
I
Let's
believe
talk about
everyone can.
yes. No, I do agree. I do agree, but it takes some work. So I want to, obviously most people know you from your childhood and from being on these shows that we remember way back when. So I
Yeah,
just want
16
to
and pregnant, teen
yes.
mom, big
Yeah, so
brother.
I want to go back for a second and just talk about how did you even get cast? Like who were you before you became the Farrah that we know?
Yeah, so I was Farrah Abraham from Council Bluffs, Iowa, Omaha, Nebraska, right there. There's those tri-cities around there, Midwest. And I was in a modeling and acting kind of course for 6 months, and I became pregnant during that. And my coach, who I just said, hey, this unfortunate situation, everyone around me acts like I'm an embarrassment. I've ruined my life, even though I was religiously taking birth control, hormonal birth control. And I became pregnant. So my coach was like, hey, there are castings. Let me help you find castings for this. It's going to be okay. And she was kind of the light in all the dark, of fixed thinking. And she just had like this total positive vibe. And so there was three opportunities, and one was MTV's 16 and Pregnant casting. So I applied to it. I said, this is my situation. These are my beliefs. And the reason why, if anyone got to see our 16 and Pregnant casting tapes,
Hmm.
the reason why the people got chosen or casted is because they believed that they could overcome any challenge and still rise above and be a great parent. And that is why I was casted. And still to this day, in any situation, I believe that I can rise above any challenge and I can still be my best person and I can still succeed. So I really think that is what sets apart anyone and makes a star.
Right. So just let's stay on that for 1 second, though, about you being 16 and pregnant, because first of all, I think we all remember how we were when we were younger. I think 16-year-olds now are much more mature than when I was. And I'm not sure about when you were, but, we were kids, like we were idiots, And so I can't imagine what would happen if I got pregnant. And I had my family definitely would not support me. My friends, I would just get tossed out of anything. At that point, I had been sent to boarding school. So, like, my life was totally different than yours. But explain to me in your town, within your family, was this something like that you had seen before? Were your parents young parents? Like, explain if this was completely out of the blue and it was something so taboo, or if it was something that wasn't that I know you said it was a little embarrassing for everybody or whatever the word was you used, but just explain the mentality of everyone around you when you had to say you were pregnant.
So I think that's a great point. The mentality of everyone around me when I was 16 and pregnant was shame, reject, blame.
Mm,
That's the mentality of when you hear someone is a teen who is pregnant. I've had my mom threaten to kick me out if I ever got pregnant. It was definitely the last thing on my mind to get pregnant, especially when I'm told, as a woman, as a teen, to be responsible,
mm,
religiously take birth control. Well, what happens when, as we know, I'm just saying, I just got done with a TED talk on this topic of who I was and what we're raised around in our mentalities. And it's always send a girl off to boarding school. She gets kicked out of Catholic school, like my other friends that I wrote in my New York Times bestselling book, My Teenage Dream Ended. She got kicked out of school, but yet the baby daddy got to stay in Catholic school.
mm,
And I just want to focus on this. We live in a country that science isn't working, our contraception isn't working. We blame the young female who is not taught relationship attachment styles. We blame someone who does not know science because we haven't educated them in our public educational systems or private or whatever, how much ever you pay for school or how much you don't pay. I also had to take hundreds of thousands of dollars of courses to be the woman who I am today because that wasn't systemically in my family's line or generation. There was no young parents actually in my generation.
mm.
So when I say I see our contraception, our sexual health, our education programs failing from grade school, right? You have grade school kids talking about sex. They have no idea what's going on. They don't know the laws in the United States. We are now at this current time, 2024, we are now having plan A shots for men, not hormonal, so they cannot, it basically clogs the artery of sperm to hit the egg. And 16-year-olds, I love today's 16-year-old men who are saying, hey, I want to be equally held accountable. I want that plan A shot so that a woman doesn't have to go screw up her body, whether it's fat or infertility problems, all these
Mhm.
problems that we have. I had to go see a nutritionalist. My contraception created cancer. I had cervical cancer from it. My contraception almost killed me, literally all the way to my brain. I had many emergency removals of birth control or all these issues, cysts. And I wasn't the only girl. So I want to say today's teens, I want to thank you for just pushing the edge of why am I 16 and I can't have opportunities to have non hormonal contraception, which equals a playing field for men and women, sexually active teens to be included rather than excluded. But
Mm.
that's what we saw in my age group. You had to ask your parent for a plan A or a plan B pill. Okay. Like now you walk in and you just go get it. Where
Yeah.
is the equality? I hope just by hearing this out loud, how we were never included in equality, but shame, rejected, and blamed the abuse of it. And I
Mm.
think today everyone deserves, from if it was by pressure or by choice, if you're sexually active, it's human nature. Take your religion out of it. We're all humans, we're all mammals. It is natural to be masturbating, thinking of sex at this age. And if you're not educated, if you don't know the right proper way of doing something and enjoying yourself and feeling good, well, then those things can eventually lead to criminal activity like sexual assaults that we see in high schools. So I just want everyone to know we naturally live a fear based sex life like I did. Oh my God, I fear getting pregnant. I fear being stuck with someone. I have all these fears around sex. But now I'm living a fearless sex life today. It only took what, 16 years. And now I have basically a 16-year-old, and she gets the opportunity of all this knowledge and education that I have so that she can be happy in her sex life, have no fears in her sex life, and be set up. So, congratulations to these amazing teens that we have right now, because I love seeing Google searches that are like, hey, where's this non hormonal thing? Where is me as a teen boy who can protect other girls? I am so tired of seeing young teen women being like basically abused, beat up, ran through the mud, rejected, shamed, blamed. Like we have all these amazing nonprofits lifting up these young women and men. And I really hope to see that. I know Upstream USA, check them out. They really uplift teens and help you get non hormonal contraception at any age. And they're really working hard for that. So check that out.